ladies and gentlemen. 2020 has been a tough year, but here we are. Sunbowl 2020, it is still going ahead. And we start today with the junior division. Missed out on the opportunity to call these two teams who have battled hard to get to this point this season. We have got the defending junior Gold Coast Stingrays taking on the challengers, the Logan City Bears, here in the junior division. To start us off, I'm Kenny Andrezzo. I'll be joining you throughout today's broadcast, and for today's junior division game, I've got the company of Jared Garrity here in the box with me. Welcome, Jared.
Hey, Kenny. Great to be here after a long, tough year, but we made it, and we've got the two best teams in the junior division here. Looks like it's going to be a good game. Yes,
sir. Later on in my team, Liam Reeves will be joining us here from some on-field correspondence and presentations, but this game is between the number one place Gold Coast Stingrays, who went 8-0 in this division, taking on the 4-4 Logan City Bears, coached by Lenwood Powell. The Stingrays coached there by Connor Brewster. And just taking a look at the officials' crew list here, Andrew Calverley, I should say, head referee, his team there, Nigel Law, Brian Curry, Tim Ridshaw, the experienced team Ridshaw, Ian Taylor, Shane Offset, Barbara Johnson on the side judge. The alternates, should anything happen, Tim Purple, Paul Mercer will be our instant replay official. His helper is Peter Solich. And operating our game clock today, Brian Balsamo for the first game. That is right, we've got a referee organised game clock, so we will be accurate. I won't be taking a stab in the dark, keeping you up to date with time today. We've got the coin toss up ahead of us here there, Jared. The captains, a couple of them listed there. Sebastian Bryant, he is actually, despite the number, will be starting quarterback. You've got Ashton Hay, who's also played some quarterback, but is the starting Mike linebacker today. Heath Gordon is the other Logan City captain, along with Noah Holthy, the Canadian running back for the Stingrays there. You've got Connor Dent, and maybe I'll just hold the phone here. I thought we might have been going down to the coin toss, not be the case. I'll continue with the captains. Number 3, there's Taj Borden, starting quarterback. Noah Langley is the big tall fella there, and wearing number 28 is Caden Eastwood, the rookie but starting safety. And unfortunately, our referee, Andrew Calverley, if you happen to hear this, your microphone is muted, buddy. But it looks like the Bears won the toss, and they might have deferred their option. Or they've chosen to take the ball, and the Stingrays have decided which way they're going to run. So, Andrew, your microphone is muted, my man. But it looks like the Bears will be taking the ball. A common misconception I wanted to address at the top of the day. Andrew Cavalier, your microphone is muted. We would love to hear your voice. But yes, a common misconception about the coin toss. The winner gets the option of when they choose to make an election.
They do. We haven't seen much of it in the junior division. Normally the defer, they make the choice in the first half, and yeah, it's actually been, deferring has been a bit more common this year than in previous years. I don't know if coaches have just cottoned on to it.
Well, it's just interesting about the wording about it there. You've got to be very careful to make sure that you elect to defer and not to make a decision or whatnot, because there actually can be a situation, we actually almost saw it, I think, in the Sun Bowl last year, in the men's Sun Bowl, where the Ravens got to receive both kickoffs.
Yeah, definitely, Kenny, definitely. And it's especially hard with the young junior players, maybe not so sure on the rules. Coach gives them instructions to go out there and do something, and in the heat of the moment, they accidentally say the wrong thing, and we end up with a situation like that.
For all the juniors at home, and maybe those who might have just missed out on the Sun Bowl, simple decision. If you're the skipper, make the decision. If you win the toss, say defer.
That's exactly right.
That being said, you might not defer, you might choose to receive. It all depends on the weather and what your game plan is and whatnot, but that is the case. Kicking off for the Gold Coast Stingrays is number 16, Ethan Carrick.
I like the decision by the Bears to receive this ball. They're a strong running team with a good defense, so they'll probably be looking to get some good field position here, drive the ball down and try to pin the Stingrays in their own area if they can't score on this first drive.
It's a late number change. Kalalia Parsi has moved from jersey number 59 to number 85. So back deep to return for the Bears. Asal Wabembe, one of them back deep to return.
See the wind already playing a bit of havoc out there with the ball on the kickoff.
Yeah, we haven't even discussed that yet. Obviously some pretty sketchy weather predicted for around 1 p.m. We're hoping that all the weathermen or weatherwomen are incorrect today. This Junior Sunbowl is underway. It will be fielded on the far side of the field there by Tyrell Butcher, who's broken away early. Shedded a tackle, stiff arm at the 35, and will take this all the way inside the 20. A huge start for the underdogs. The Logan City Bears will have fantastic field position to start their opening drive.
And you see on that kickoff, they had some really good initial blocking. I think I didn't see the number there, but just sprung the returner on the outside there, the initial block, and we see that leg drive coming through and finishing off the run, which is really important in junior football, especially with only 9 men on the field, to always finish off that run.
Lachlan Johnson with the key touchdown saving tackle down the sideline there, and he'll take that personally. His coaches have described him as a kickoff madman. Loves getting to there first. This time he had to be the last defender there. Probably not where he wanted to be making the tackle there on kickoff. So the Bears here, hailing from Logan City, inside the 20 on their first offensive touch of the day. The give is immediately to Holthy, and he gets a good chunk of yardage there for his first trot with the ball.
Some good blocking up front there. The Logan City, I think, have got one of the biggest O-lines in the league, and it started to show there on the first play, getting out in front, making some space for that running back.
Elijah Elliott there at right guard, Sunka Ball Jago at centre, and that O-line would not look out of place at Colts, and dare I say some of those guys, probably bigger than some of the senior linemen I've seen before.
Yeah, 100%, Kenny, 100%. I wouldn't be surprised to maybe throw in just a quick slant here or something to the outside.
Stingrays, 3 down linemen. They want to bring some pressure against this Lenwood Power Wing T, but this is a handoff to the other running back, Zach Koval, the fullback, breaking tackles. And the Logan City Bears, a big kick return to start the day and a big exclamation point to start their opening drive.
And again, just some great blocking up front there and a really good read on that for the handoff on that option play there. Good choice.
Wow, huge run there. Physical football, and this 8-0 Gold Coast Stingrays side a little shell-shocked to open the game.
Oh, definitely, Kenny. Stingrays are always a team who like to start off strong on defense and sort of set the tone. They won't be happy about that at all.
Holthy in motion. They'll pitch out to the left. I think that might have been an illegal motion based on where that flag's coming from. I think he was short anyway, and so this will likely be a declined penalty. We will wait to hear the call.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what we'll see.
Illegal motion, number 34 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, we'll replay the try.
Sure, if you folks got that at home, it hasn't come into our headset, so illegal motion, my suspicions were correct. Now he must have got that because they're going to go again here.
Yeah, it seems to be, otherwise it was an easy decline there on the penalty.
And then
We'll look to see if they hit that outside edge again. They had some good, a good seal on that outside, and see what they can come up here for that 2 points.
And I haven't mentioned his name yet, but that's Sebastian Bryant calling the signals. At quarterback, a very unconventional number, and 91. I'm going to look at 19 in 2021. He'll throw for the first time today, and it pulls up a little bit short. That will fall incomplete. So 6-0, the score will remain here in the junior division. The Bears first on the board, and I could be mistaken here, but I think this might be the first time all season that the Stingrays have trailed.
I think it would be, Kenny. I think it would be. I know the Bears, the second game they played against the Stingrays, played quite close through the whole game, but I think this would be the first time they trailed all season, so a bit of a new experience for them, and we'll see how they respond on their opening offensive drive here.
Yeah, they've had a couple of close games. Week 8 was the closest of them, 12-0. The Rays scored. The Bears being one of the only 2 teams to score on this Stingrays defense. They scored 8 points back, all the way back into week 3. So, only took them 3 plays. They scored a touchdown.
We see the importance of special teams too on that one drive. Good field position, as we said, will be vital for this game for the Bears to continue on.
That's now Rosman Green is back to each return. This is a dangerous man with the football and will be taken down and fumbles the football. The horrid start for the Gold Coast Stingrays, the defending champs, continues.
There's great awareness there by, was it number 5 with the recovery on that fumble? I'm not sure.
It was an awkward kick. Who forced the fumble? He came flying in like a
Number
madman.
23, I think it was.
That is Gabriel Lamon, if our suspicions are correct. This is a good view of it there. It was recovered by number 23. Apologies to the young man who stuck his arm out and raked that ball away from Green, but he's gifted his team with another opportunity to go back-to-back scores.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the problems with the shortened season we have and we've seen this year is ball security. We haven't had the fundamentals. Coaches haven't been able to drill these fundamentals in all preseason like we would normally.
Back up the middle goes the fullback and Zach Koval, warming the cockles of my heart, seeing the team with a true fullback in place. And look, we haven't had an opportunity to talk about this offense here from Logan City. It's a throwback, to say the least. Big T, wing T, however you want to call it. This is brought in from Coach Lenwood Powell, who's been a bit of a journeyman. Started off with the Wildcats, found his way over to Thunder when they combined. Now he has a head coaching opportunity at Logan City Bears. And I'll tell you what, I've talked to him before. He's wanted an opportunity to install this offense somewhere, and he finally got the opportunity here at Logan City.
Definitely it's a throwback, but it's an effective throwback, especially in this 9-man football. Especially with those big guys up front, we see effective blocking, and we see that option on the back there.
Holthy was there to motion and lead block for the other man there, and Terrell Butcher. This is so much of a throwback that when giving me my rosters, running back is generally the term used for anyone in the backfield there. He still calls them halfbacks, which is still not an outdated term, it's just not used as much. So much so he uses left and right halfback, which is something I've not had to do in my calling career so far.
No, I've seen some of the old 80s playbooks and some of the stuff we ran, but it's been a long time since I've seen left and right designations for the running backs or tailbacks.
The combination, the reference I made to it, it reminded me very much of the Jim Brown, Cleveland Brown days, where, God rest his soul, Jim Brown, no, not Jim Brown so much, but Ernie Davis, where him and Ernie Davis were supposed to, Jim Brown and Ernie Davis were supposed to have an amazing career together. Unfortunately, Ernie Davis had an unfortunate end. A huge play here in response from the Gold Coast Stingrays. Making a play there was the experienced Deacon Grew from defensive tackle.
And we saw on that play there, number 40 setting that edge, which is really important in 9-man football. See a lot once they get outside those D ends or outside linebackers. There's normally a lot of room to move. So number 40 setting that edge, forcing the running back inside to where the support was really great technique there. And this is what the Stingrays are going to have to do if the Logan continues to grind the ball out like this.
And Logan, ball control offense, occasionally will hit you with a deep play action. They've run a couple of plays now. We'll see if that pass is coming. 4th down is the play here, so they'll just punt it, though I thought they might have used the field position. They might have reconsidered maybe going for it there. I think they would have done, the punt ends up gaining about 30 centimetres.
Yeah, it wasn't much in there. I don't know if it was touched at the line or not there, Kenny, but it certainly didn't travel to the intended area of the field.
And a few people, quite a lot of Rays tuning into this stream right now. I see Hitz Williams, who I almost wouldn't have been able to call today. He's no longer playing with the men's team this year. He's tuning in. MK Rapana, who'll be playing later on, is.
We'll get a good chance to see how the weather conditions will affect this Stingrays offense. I know quite a good passing offense here. Yeah, Number 10's always a threat.
We'll finally have an opportunity here for Taj Borden to take control of his offense. First play of the game for this Stingrays offense. It's a pop pass to Anthony Lim, usual tight end, cops a shot at the end there from Jordan Sligo, but in a late change, Anthony Lim, who's played as their wingback / tight end, has moved out to slot receiver and grabs his first catch of the day.
You saw there 63 on the offensive line there. Just got enough of the edge rusher there just to hold him up and allowed the receiver to get to that edge.
He leads the team in receptions, Anthony Lim, 343 yards. It's plays like that, you can see why. Under center now is Borden. And they'll give, I thought it might have been Mackin, who's, I'm going to be careful not to confuse Colts and Junior Stingrays here.
It was Davis Angeles.
Oh, of course, NJ, Davis Angeles. He was a hero in last year's Sunbowl, churned out quite a few yards, and the quarterbacks played the piano behind it.
He certainly is a big back, and if you get him in space, I think he's going to be a handful for the second level of defenders there.
Leading rusher, 573 yards, an impressive 8.4 yard average for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Gorka, Davis Angeles in the backfield once more. They send someone in motion. They will fake it to him. Borden will let it fly. He's got a receiver with a step. The radar was off. Langley was the intended wide receiver. Got past his corner and Heath Gordon. But that will be an opportunity going begging.
It's one thing the Stingrays do really well is hide their intentions of the play with either play action, read option. And you've seen it all season. It just gets these receivers wide open for those deep passes. They certainly are dynamic, and let's just see if this wind affects that game and see how that plays out.
3rd and 9 now. 3rd and long here, assigned to the Gold Coast Stingrays. 2 receivers out to the left. They've got Ngulka Davis Angeles trusted to tote the ball here on 3rd down. This is 4th down territory in the context of this game and division. And this will shorten up 4th down for them.
Another good run there. Straight up the middle, dodging and weaving. So good 4 or 5 yards in that run.
For those who might be tuning in from overseas and perhaps haven't seen these divisions of football here in Australia or in Gridiron Queensland, 9-a-side football is the flavour of the day for both juniors and Colts. So generally, on offense, giving up 2 tackles, defense giving up 2 people from the front 7. 4th down now here. Stingrays looking to keep this drive alive. They'll keep it with Borden. Borden squirts through and he's got enough for the first.
Really clever run there, really clever run.
Had a bit of work to do there. The old Borden more or less faked to Davis Angeles and then used him as a lead blocker and ducked under a couple of tackles and converted the first down.
And that's what you want to see in your quarterback. You want him to be able to read that game and when necessary, take the ball in his own hands, take the team on his back and get those first downs there when necessary.
They're at the 30. We've got 1st down and 3 receivers out to the left, including Ned Connor, who I think is getting the start this week at tight end. As we mentioned, Lim, the usual tight end, has moved out to the slot position, and Ned Connor has had the opportunity to get a start here in a significant game. And we're going to go to the referee here for a call here. Nope, it's just a timeout to the Logan City Bears, who are going to try and stymie this offense with a 6-point lead.
So one of the things why I believe a timeout was called there, the Stingrays like to isolate defenders. So bringing the trips onto one side, they've isolated the other side of the field. A lot of the time they'll either read option to the open side there with the less defenders on, or go for the long pass on one-on-one. There certainly are an offense that trusts those one-on-one matchups, which is great to see. It's good coaching, getting these athletes to understand their matchups and the quarterback to recognise when they have those favourable matchups one-on-one on that side.
You see a very animated head coach in Connor Brewster there, very passionate about his football. I've been talking to him throughout the week. He's been very kind to give me his time, to give me information on his team. Has been doing film sessions on end to try and give his team the best opportunity to take the silverware here today. Look at this, 3x1. This is that isolation situation we were talking about, the 3x1 set, very popular in modern football. And that is going to be Connor catching it in the flat. That's the old slant flat concept out there to the open side of the field.
And again, a good play there, setting up to that side. If we saw there, the safety had travelled over to come over the top of the single receiver. They've obviously watched film on this defence, so they saw that and dumped it out to the triple back.
And this time, Borden's going to roll out to his left. The pass was the initial call, but look at this space he's using. Will lower the shoulder, and I think that is trying to figure out if Parsley has moved to 85, who's wearing the number 59 jersey, because that is the young man who put a stop to that run.
And that's one of the underrated aspects of the Stingrays quarterback there, and all season he's done it. That ability to sense when he can run and when he can't run. I believe he received MVP last year.
Correct.
For the junior division.
Sunbowl MVP.
And Sunbowl MVP, and you can see that level of play there in that sort of read.
All right, a fullback in play now here for the Stingrays here at the goal line. Looking to even things up with Davis Angeles. He's pushing. He's still pushing. Looking for a signal. Touchdown Stingrays. Far side of referee. And we have got a touchdown for the boys and girls in Columbia Blue.
And right there's one of the reasons why we teach leg drive and why we don't stop till the whistle's over. It was a great drive for the line and the fullback to get in there to start driving 22 over that line.
Oh. Hold the phone. We have got a challenge flag out from the Logan sideline. And this is about to be announced here from Calvert. It sounds like our referee audio issues have been sorted. We're about to find out. But first challenge of the day.
Officials timeout. The previous ruling of a touchdown is under review.
And the referee stopped talking there, so yes. At the Sunbowl, players have or coaches I should say, have the opportunity to challenge calls using our instant replay here. And that's why we have officials in the booth. They're challenging the spot of the ball here, and they're going to claim he was tackled before he broke the plane. Now, they've spotted here there's a knee down. Now let's see if they can find any sort of evidence to figure out if he crossed the plane. And keep in mind, the call on the field is touchdown, so they need to find proof that that isn't the case. And I think, look, if I was a betting man, the odds would be on the Stingrays for this call.
I'd just like to say, on that play, number 14, Ashton Hay, absolutely fantastic job standing the running back up on the line there until support came. Whether it's a touchdown or not, that's what you want to see in a Sunbowl from your defence.
Down to Andrew Cavalier for the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
And the call has been confirmed. Davis Angeles on the board for the Stingrays.
Well, it wouldn't be a Sunbowl without a semi-controversial call, wouldn't it?
Well, we didn't have to wait we didn't have to wait too long for it. And that is the crossed off the wrong challenge flag, but it is the first challenge of the day. It's unsuccessful, so the Logan City Bears will not be able to challenge for the rest of the game. And they also obviously cost them a timeout. And the conversion, good for the Stingrays. Easy as you like. Converting his own touchdown is NJ Davis Angeles. 8-6 the score here late in the first quarter.
We saw then again how important setting that edge as a defence is. You saw the offence got out there, sealed that edge. Defence had nobody inside on that run until he had already hit the line there. Nine-man football, because there is so much extra room on that field, makes that edge position vitally important for success on defence.
Yeah, force players, huge responsibility in nine-a-side football.
Which is on nine-a-side, you often find maybe not a typical D-end out there. You normally put your best athletes out on that edge. And the ones who you know are capable of doing their job.
Yeah, it's a weird sort of ask you've got to do that, because if it still runs between the guards, you still need them to play like a traditional defensive end. But the moment that ball escapes the would-be tackle box, they're pretty much turning into safeties or outside linebackers.
That's exactly right. That's it. And it's a big ask for the kids, but we've seen quite a few of them come through over the years. So,
okay, this time they're going to kick to the other returner. The ball is a line drive, which might be enough. Nope, it will be fielded inside the 5 here from the dangerous return man that is Butcher, and this time they do a much better job corralling him. In fact, they do a wonderful job. The Logan City Bears, in stark contrast to their first drive, will start this all the way back inside their own red zone.
and again, much better pursuit on that kickoff from the Stingrays there. Logan, I think, missed a few key blocks on that, which allowed all the Stingray defenders to get through there, but much better special teams play there by the guys in blue.
First down here for Logan City, now trailing 2 points. This is their third drive of the game. Incomplete there, pass intended out to Jordan Sligo.
Just wondering if the bit of moisture out there on the field's affecting the quarterback's grip there. On the last 2 throws he's had, the ball hasn't seemed to come out as clean as it had during the season.
Getting the call there, Sebastian Bryant. Interesting. I thought most teams would go to the old wristband nowadays. He's still traditionally cycling in the,
a lot of teams are using it, but again, we're talking throwback offense. Why not have throwback play calls in there?
Exactly right. In this big T offense, strong sides out to the right. And it's Jarrett Powell, the tight end there. Coach Linwood's son. The give here is the Holthy. And that is good pursuit there by the linebacker, number 40, defensive end, Dan Bolton.
And again, we see how important that defensive end. Number 22 there did a great job on that block on the outside, but the D end read it well, held his position, and forced the runner to the sideline.
Dan Bolton, it's their third drive now, so effectively he's on the field early. Usually the starter didn't start the first drive here, has been away at camp all this week, so missed obviously very key trainings there. So Connor Brewster wanted to reward those who were there, so initially getting the start, I think, was one of the other lads who've escaped me now, but more on Dan Bolton in a second. And watch this. Look at this, third down, all standing D linemen, awfully similar to the Bill Belichick Psycho front there, and the Bears try to evade it by throwing quick out to Heath Gordon, and it's covered well there from the Gold Coast Stingrays. That'll bring up fourth down, and the Bears will look to punt this back to the Stingrays offense.
Again, this is one of the issues that the Bears will face today is field position. They're a ball control offense. They're a grinding offense. They don't want to be playing the game down in their own half. They want to be getting it over halfway, over that advantage line, and on their kicks, setting it down in the 20 and relying on those big defensive plays they've got. They're a grinding offense and they're a grinding defense. They're a big bunch of kids there, and they don't want to get into a shootout with the Stingrays. They want to play their game.
Exactly right. 8-6 after the end of one. Logan City Bears scored in the first possession via fullback Zach Coville. Towards the back end of the quarter, the Gold Coast Stingrays answered back with a running back of their own there, NJ Davis Angeles, with the touchdown and conversion to give them their 2-point lead here entering the second. But you're right about this Bears offense. It is a grinding ball control offense, and if you're giving the ball back, you want to be punting it back into their own possession where your defense can then be aggressive. If you're turning it over in their own half, well, you get a little more hesitant about it, giving up points there.
Exactly, and then you may have to go to passing the ball more often than you'd like, which isn't ideal.
And this is a better punt here from Callum Urquhart, who is the primary ball kicker for this Bears offense, and this is an exciting return there. from the Gold Coast Stingrays. Ultimately, not too much damage done for or against Logan City. Returning that was Jackson Lloyd.
Very dangerous in open field, Jackson. I think he plays cornerback as well and receiver. When he gets that ball in the open field, he is very dangerous.
If my stats are correct, I think he's got 3 punt return touchdowns on the season. So
he's not someone I would be kicking it to too often.
So once again, some solid field position here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Balls on the Logan City 32. 2-point lead. And a running back who's hungry for another touchdown. They will pass here on first down. Drag right over the middle there to Ned Connor, who's been the most targeted receiver so far in the early parts of this game. And as I said, usually in the rotation, this week gets the start. A returning player from a season ago, and he's rewarding his coach's confidence right now with a good couple of catches.
And a really good little pass. Not many yards there, but it's getting your receiver's hands warmed up, and it's opening up those little bit deeper routes there for as the safety and linebacker cheat up.
Connor in motion again. He's followed. A little bit of man coverage shown by the Bears, and the keeper will be here to Borden. Calls his own number, and will make this a very manageable third down.
And again, another great read by number 3.
Oh, hang on. I think they might even have a first here.
Yeah, looks like they've given it to him.
Yeah, nose of the footy passed. So that's a fresh set here for the Gold Coast Stingrays.
The one thing he does have to worry about a bit there is he isn't the largest kid on the field, and there are some pretty big Logan defenders out there. So I think he's always been pretty good at picking his runs the last few years. So as long as he continues to do that.
3-by-1 set again. That is the big number 10 and Noah Langley matched up 1-on-1 there with number 21 Heath Gordon. He's got the fade, but they'll go the other way. And the pass is caught. Left side of the field. Eventually ran out of bounds. I think that's Lim picking up his second catch of the day.
Another nice pass. It's right between the double coverage there. 5 yards. Stingrays all season have run some really great crossing routes, out routes. Doesn't look like much on the field, but it's well practiced as always. And what this does for them in the second half, it'll open up those deeper passes as the defense starts to cheat up.
Langley now moves into the slot. And this is an even spread set. Second down. Borden hands off to Davis Angeles. Big stiff arm on Hay. Hay keeps enough of him for troops to arrive.
Might have enough for another first down there.
Posey making the stop.
At the moment, the Stingrays are basically it's death by 1,000 cuts at the moment with their offense. Nothing big coming out yet, but certainly forcing Logan to rethink their defensive strategy there as they move down the field.
Third and short. Almost an offside here, and this will be another keeper to Borden. Borden racing the linebackers there. Still waiting on a confirmation on who is in jersey 59. And it looks like, according to my Logan contacts, it could be Kaloa Leopozi. But you're right, a bit about on Taj Borden. They're not the biggest of gentlemen, but for lack of a better word, he is still a bit chunky in a way, which protects him. You know, some of these slighter build quarterbacks when they're small, you get a little worried. It looks like Borden is the type of guy who can take a hit. And Gorka with 1 touchdown. And that's now 8 on the season in the backfield. Player in motion. It's a fake. They'll throw over the middle. Touchdown! Gold Coast Stingrays off the tip. Sligo had a piece of it, and not enough of it. And the Stingrays extend their lead.
Fantastic awareness by the receiver there to keep hands up, eyes on the football.
Sorry, that's Lim.
Fantastic concentration there.
My apologies. Lim scoring the touchdown over the middle. Good concentration. And back to live pictures we go for the conversion. Unsuccessful, no launcher in the field, so the score will remain 14-6 midway through the second quarter. The defending champs, they're starting to build a lead.
They are, and this is the sort of game Logan, like we've mentioned before, Logan don't want to get into a shootout. It hasn't suited their team all season. All the games they've played against the Stingrays have been grinding, and they've kept the game really close with the opportunity to take over in that second half. And they've just got to keep playing their game. I think it's score hasn't blown out just yet. They're 8 points behind. As we always say, you got to dance with who brung you.
Exactly right.
They got here on that offense and defense, being stout, grinding it out. They've just got to stick to that game plan at the moment. Not desperate, no, they're not anywhere near desperate situations. Just keep grinding it out.
And in my talks with Coach Lemon Powell during the week, I said, what's the script that needs to happen for you guys to take this game? And he made no bones about it. He's like, there's a lot of reasons why this team is 8-0. Let's not take that away from them. But for us to get the victory here, we need to stop their big play passing offense and give ourselves a chance here.
And they've done that so far. We haven't had too many big plays at the moment.
Zach Koval with one touchdown on the board now, a kick return to his stat sheet, brings it back inside Stingray territory. But yes, albeit they're still finding a way to score the Stingrays, but it's taken them a good couple of plays as opposed to some of the big strike plays that they've made all season long.
Exactly, and we see on this kickoff again, we're now getting into the field position where the Bears want to be playing. So the Stingrays are a great team. They're a great coach team. They have been for years. The junior team, they keep churning out fabulous players, and that's just what they do. They'll find a way to move the ball, but you just got to stick to your guns, play your game.
And
I think teams get in a lot of trouble when they try to play outside their comfort zone.
I think you're correct. 4 down linemen here for the Stingrays, not hiding the fact they're bringing pressure. And despite that, the Bears managed to get past the line of scrimmage, not for a whole lot though, so chalked it up for a win for the Stingrays.
Stingrays are starting to cotton on, bringing those, instead of their edge rushers being outside another yard or two, they're bringing them all in a bit closer against this power set and this wing set. We'll see if the Bears can take advantage of that with their passing game or their quick screen game to the outside.
Connor Brewster did talk about defending this team, and he goes, they're a very tough running team. There's some very tough runners on there, but one benefit is you kind of expect, you understand the spectrum of players that you're up against, and it's allowed him just to sort of commit to these 4 down linemen as his base defense.
Yep.
And this will be another pass attempt. It sails in the air, had a lot behind it, and here comes up with a catch is Jordan Sligo trying to spin out of some would-be tacklers there. That got caught up in the air, and Sligo had to come back for it, but he made a nice adjustment.
A fantastic catch, fantastic concentration. And this is what we were just talking about. The Bears have the opportunity, and they have throughout the season, drawing players in with their triple back sets and then passing the ball deep or passing it on a deep cross through the middle where there's plenty of space there.
Bryant, definitely not a short man. So an opportunity here in the red zone. Have cashed in on their last. They cashed in on their last opportunity down here.
So will we see him go back to a grinding offense for this last 12 yards?
Back to Holthy. Holthy breaks an arm tackle. Gets it to the 10, loses the ball, and there'll be a fight for it. I think I see some Stingrays defenders on there, but hang on. Well, it's weird. There's limited reactions from both sides here. I'm not sure what to make of this. Was there a whistle I didn't hear? Did they blow the play dead? Or just usually you see a little more of an animated reaction from either team.
Yeah, you certainly do. And offense and defense haven't moved as far as I can see.
Looks like they're going to call the
runner's knee down, perhaps.
Knee down.
Or forward progress. We'll see what they come up with.
Well, here it is on replay. I'm thinking that the Bears might have got lucky with one there.
Yeah, it might be worth a coach's challenge.
Well, they can't now. They've already used it.
Oh.
They used it and failed, I should say. Obviously, if you win your challenge, you receive your timeout back and get the challenge once again. Second down inside the red zone. Ball at the 11. Here goes Bryant over the middle, stands tall and delivers a strike to Jordan Sligo, who can't quite get the body over. They're going to have first and goal.
And a fantastic pocket there. He had all the time in the world, picked his receiver, stepped into the pocket and delivered that ball. And that's what you want to see from a young quarterback. A lot of quarterbacks will get into the habit of just dropping. See 91, step up, see the pocket form and hit that strike.
And just to continue your thoughts there, just the anticipation. You look at where Sligo was. He wasn't there. Delivered the strike to where he would be. Trust he'd make the play. And they're rewarded with a goal line opportunity here.
And this is what we were talking about before.
2-minute warning. Just got the official 2-minute warning. So an opportunity for the Bears to try and tie things up going to the half. Of course, Stingrays don't need a whole lot of time to add a touchdown on the board. But if they can go into the half-time break here with a tied scoreline or a 2-point deficit, I think Logan City will be just very happy with that.
Definitely, Kenny, definitely. And this is a game they want to get into and how they want to play.
Give to Butcher, and that psycho front there from the Gold Coast Stingrays paying dividends.
Fantastic tackle. Fantastic tackle. Went for a bit of a ride, but never gave up. Held on.
Making that tackle there, Michael Collins. 18 tackles in the season. Let's make that 19. Look at that. When we talk about the big offensive line for the Logan Bears, I want to try and get behind it right here. Albeit there are a couple of strong-looking lads on that Stingrays defensive front as well. Haven't even had an opportunity to talk about the background of some of those guys, some of the key players for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Give to Butcher. Butcher flat-footed. That play was doomed from the start. Making the play in the backfield once again, big bad Dan Bolton. 4 tackles for loss in the season. Added another one earlier this game. That's 6 in total now in 2020.
And again, like you mentioned, the big boys from the Stingrays stepping up on that gold line defense.
Timeout. Defense.
And we got a timeout here from the
First
defense.
of the half.
I wonder what they wanted to change there. It was third down. They had them on the back rope there. You've probably just given the Logan City Bears a chance to recoup here and readdress some issues.
Might be confident in their defense, might be hoping to keep enough time on the clock to score again. Because certainly if they get the stop here, we know how explosive the Stingrays' offense is. Minute 30, plenty of time to drive down that field and pick up a little bit bigger buffer going into the second half.
Tuning in now is a couple of other folks coming through. Coach Hollywood is officially tuned in from the Gold Coast. Shout out to you, Coach. Usually my presenting partner. Fortunately couldn't make the trip up the M1 today, but is tuning in very intently from his beautiful home in northern parts of the Gold Coast. Third and 7 now. After getting that big play to get them to the 1, have been knocked back 6 yards. Coming out of this timeout, let's see what adjustments Lenwood Powell has tried to make.
Still 2 down territory here. 2 downs, 7 yards. Will they keep their run? Will they?
Twins right. 2 in the backfield. And Bryant will drop back, is under pressure, but will find Holthy. Holthy can't make the athletic grab, and this will bring up the fist. 4th down.
Just a little bit behind him there. There was some space out there. He might have been a chance if that ball had gotten out in front of him. And, well, traditionally, if you're watching the NFL or college football, this would be a field goal opportunity, but particularly in nine-a-side football, it is pretty hard to achieve unless you've got a very talented kicker who can get that ball vertical very quickly. I have a feeling we're in a situation where they're going to send their offense back out, and here comes Brian in circling a play. Yeah, definitely. Unless you're fortunate enough to have a pretty talented kicker, this certainly becomes 4 down territory.
There has been a few coming to mind as Jaden Paludan.
Yeah, definitely.
Successfully did it for the Gold Coast Stingrays Colts for quite some time. High snap, it is controlled by Bryant though, pulls it in, looking left, has got a block from Sligo, looking for the corner, Bears are in for their second touchdown! On 4th down, Bryant coming in clutch.
Absolutely fantastic blocking there. If we have a look on the replay, we see number 2 on the outside at receiver, keep his block up on the outside and keep 12 away. Absolutely fantastic. And these little things you may not necessarily see on the camera to start with, but the blocking on that entire play was fantastic.
You see the back end of it there, and you're exactly right. He gives Bryant the opportunity there. Bryant looks over and sees all that space created from Sligo there. So credit to him on this drive. Got the big catch. They got them to the 1 that time. Makes the unstatable play of making a key block there. And I'll tell you what, on my notes from speaking to coaching staff throughout the week, look what's highlighted. Right at the top.
Ruthless blocker, there we go. And he's certainly earned that title there. It's one of the aspects of the game that's often overlooked. Receivers blocking, the guys on that outside blocking, and in 9-a-side it just becomes vital.
To try and tie it up, they'll hand off to the middle, but I think that is Bolton once again showing up for his team and defending that lead. So with 45 seconds remaining here in the first half of the Junior Division Sunbowl, the Stingrays maintain a very slim 2-point lead here.
Defensively, Bolton's been everywhere as D-edge. He's had a fantastic first half for the Stingrays. As a rookie, he's a rookie this year too.
Indeed.
It's been a particularly hard year for rookies with very little preseason. So these rookies that have come on all the teams, all 4 teams that have played this year, have just done a fantastic job to pick up the game and to develop to where they have.
Also worth mentioning, with that touchdown, that is officially the most points this defense has surrendered in a game of football here in 2020.
Yeah, they're in uncharted territory for the season, even possibly last season. It'll be interesting to see how they react. There's still 45 seconds on the clock. I think they have 2 timeouts left.
Mm-hmm. And so far, the Bears have proven capable of defending against the long pass. So
yeah, definitely.
They might not give them the opportunity, although this short kickoff doesn't help. Returning this ball back is the dangerous Jackson Lloyd. Jackson Lloyd finding the left side of the field. In pursuit was Wabembe. Wabembe gets shown an open hand fend, and now they'll only have 32 seconds, but they only have about 38 yards to go here to try and add some more points on the board here before we hit oranges.
And again, this is a position we've said all game where the Bears don't want to be on their half of the field. We'll see how their defense reacts, but again, a little bit shorter field might work out for them. That deep pass may not be as much a threat, Kenny.
It is kind of interesting for teams who are vertically talented and roll with that as their primary offense. As you get closer to the field, sometimes it kind of just throws a bit of a spanner in there when they don't have a deep fade to throw to.
Yeah, definitely. We see it from college to NFL.
Yeah, even the Chiefs' red zone offense right now with Patty Mahomes and Tyreek Hill, absolutely trash in the red zone right now.
Oh,
and I don't
think they converted. I think they've had 1 from 6 conversions in the red zone from the last 2 games, the Chiefs. So
not great.
It hasn't.
And we might have a call here from Covley.
Substitution infraction.
Too many men on the field.
10 players on the defense. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Substitution infraction, 5 yards. Of course, it's nice to have an actual coach in the booth sometimes.
And this is another thing that I think all coaches have struggled with this year. Just the simple things. Because of no preseason, getting enough people on and off the field.
First down, we'll go back to those thoughts in a second. We've got 3 eligible shooters out to the left. They're going deep. They want the chunk play, and it's almost picked off there from Zach Koval. And oh geez, he's flirting with penalties there, and he'll get it. Anthony Lim didn't like the treatment, and he will be defended by the referees there with a flag on the play. If you're gonna celebrate it, don't do it in the face of your opponent. This might just undo what was a very good play here for this Logan City defense.
And one of the things that make coaches lose their hair.
Hold the phone. No secrets about this penalty.
The result of the play was an incomplete pass. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 4 of the defense, 15 yards from the previous spot, automatic first down.
There it is, Zach Koval pinned with a USC. And he's got to be careful now that he's got to keep his behaviour in check, because one more of those sees you sitting down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. One of the things you hate to see as a coach is, and why a lot of us are going bald, is a great defensive play or a great offensive play followed by a silly personal foul penalty or a dead ball penalty. It just drives you absolutely nuts and undoes a lot of great work from the team. We find ourselves, that would have been third down, I believe, and we're now 20 yards out.
And
26 seconds to go, still 2 timeouts.
A lifetime when you're this close to the goal line. First down and 10, ball 1 yard inside the Logan City red zone. Borden with time and an open man, caught and through their hands. The intended receiver, Ethan Carrick, had the corner out, beaten the coverage but couldn't bring it in. And I'll bring up second down following the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty 2 plays ago now.
He just had a step on the DB there. It's unlucky for that to go through his hands.
14, 12, 20 seconds to go. Halftime almost among us. I will be sending down my man Liam Reeves to try and get some words from the both camps if he can. See what Lenwood Powell and Connor Brewster have to say coming out of the half, and he'll report back to us coming into the second half.
Looking for Borden on the run here.
Borden with some open space, jinking and jiving, and tackled nicely there by the cornerback in Heath Gordon.
Really well played by the defense.
Time out.
We're
Offense.
expecting
Their second of the half.
Taj to open up the field a bit there. Everyone expecting pass, and that's normally when Borden makes his living on the outside there. But really well picked up by the defense.
I'll give a shout out to a couple of the other guys who helped Connor Brewster on this team list. Had it available to me a second ago, just bearing with my notes. Craig Baker assisting with some of these talented wide receivers, and Jesse Sharp, stepping in, one of the senior players for the Stingrays, is helping out with the O-line, and Todd Eastwood is their defensive back coach and defensive coordinator.
And Jesse would have been a busy man this season. He's playing, coaching, assisting coaching here, and also assisting with the youth, I think, on youth days. So
it's addictive.
It certainly is. It certainly is. But it's great to see these older players, as in time they've spent in the game, giving back to the game. And it's what the sport desperately needs in this country. Those experienced players giving back to the sport.
It's the only way it'll happen. We need to recycle this knowledge. There's no use it staying up in the head.
That's exactly right.
On there. Third down now. Ball is on the Logan City 13, it looks like. First down is at the 9-yard line. Sligo back at free safety, and so is Coville looking to make up for his error earlier. Looking to pass, evades the pressure nicely. Now Borden's got plenty of space. Jukes a defender and gets inside the left-hand pylon. He said, if you're not going to let me pass, I shall run. Converts that one into another touchdown here for the Gold Coast Stingrays.
And that's the problem with the dual threat quarterback there. Logan came into the game wanting to stop the long pass, which they have. But we see there, the field just opened up. Borden read that perfectly and just accelerated into that gap, and we have a resulting touchdown. And this is a showcase of the football intelligence that he's shown over the last 2 years.
Yeah, and that's what experience does, and that's what we just hope a lot more of these kids stick around football. By the time he gets to senior football, can you imagine so many of the fundamentals that will just be down pat? A conversion here attempt by Davis Angeles. Easy money for that man.
Fantastic hard run. First contact at about the 1.5 there, and just drove his legs through.
Ashton Hay, he was the guy who met him on that first almost stopped conversion. He's the load to bring down. Ashton Hay, I'm going to suggest you're going to need some of your teammates helping out.
Let's see how Logan react. We've only got 4 seconds here, but they're well in the game in the second half. Their last touchdown wasn't ideal as a coach, but be interesting to see how they come out in the second half. being in the position they are still well within striking range for the style of football they want to play.
Well, it truly is, but how much of a mental blow is that score there just before the half there? I mean, there's no secret. It's spoken about in every sport there, getting in just before the bell. There's something extra about it. It almost feels like, well, they got 8 points out of it, but quite frankly, sometimes it feels like 12.
It does, and it's up to the coaches, I think, at halftime to bring the players back and go, look, let's go back to 0-0. We're 10 points behind, 2 scores.
Ashton Hay with a kick return here from the 34, breaks the tackle and should take this to half-time there, time expiring by my count on that kick return. And I'll just wait for the official signal before I get into my spiel. The ball's getting to Andrew Calverley. The ball is raised. That is halftime here in the first game of Sunbowl 36, the junior division. The defending champion Gold Coast Stingrays scored with 4 seconds remaining in the half to give themselves a 22-12 lead against the Logan City Bears. Kenny Andres, Jared Gaddy, Liam Reeves with you throughout this broadcast. We're going to take a break for halftime. Second half, not far away. All right, welcome back. Second half, just moments away here. The Gold Coast Stingrays looking to go back-to-back here in the junior division. And the Logan City Bears looking to grab their first title in a junior level of football since the Pete Farrar days. And the kickoff is about to hit it, and here we go. Second half football upon us. Returning the football, Rothman Green had a fumble on his first kick return earlier today, but now he's making up for it. Jukes the defender, breaks another tackle, and will get this past halfway and inside the Logan City 40 as we see the Stingrays with a healthy 10-point lead bring their offense back on the field. I'll use this opportunity to bring my broadcast partner and Liam Reeves, who went down to the sheds at halftime. Had a chat to both of the coaches. What have you got for me, Lips?
Yeah, thanks, Kenny. So we'll start off obviously with the Stingrays now as they're starting to drive the ball down the field. Their offense is on. Caught up with Coach Brewster. His focus on offense is still the same. You see it's working pretty well as the second quarter went on. Talked about how tight it was and what they need to do better. At the moment, they're just looking to execute, making sure everyone's not overwhelmed by the moment, right? So at the moment, they're just looking to execute on offense. They are going to change up some things on defense.
Oh, no call there on what possibly looked like a PI. Then the offense doesn't look too disturbed by it. Incomplete. Sorry, Liam.
Yeah, no problem. And then with the Bears, I caught up with Coach Lenwood Powell. Obviously, they're trying to keep things nice and easy, making sure the boys aren't also overwhelmed. But there's just a few things that were evident there with Taj scoring there late in the second. While the Rays got good blocking down the field, still lazy tackle attempts. They really want to focus, something that Coach Lenwood has drilled over through the preseason leading up to this point is tackling with proper form, not throwing an arm out and letting your target or the opposing player run past you. So really looking to execute, harden up and just play smart, solid football as the Rays are trying to do. And they're trying to meet them with that aggression and that technique, and hopefully they can execute better.
All right, thanks, Liam. He'll be keeping us updated with stuff from the field throughout the day. You'll see his pretty face on screen soon enough. And back on the broadcast here is Jared Garrity. As we see another big run from Angolka. Davis Angeles there to set up this third down conversion attempt for the Stingrays. So very insightful information there from Liam Reeves. Appreciate his coverage so far. Jared, we've got a third down. The Stingrays have a 10-point lead.
We do, and it'll be interesting to see what they do here. Run, pass, or will Borden take the ball himself?
Spread formation. Two receivers to the left, quite tight to the formation. In motion goes Lim. Lim's had a good day so far. A tip pass, touchdown, and a couple of touches on top of that. Trips out to the right now with that motion. And Golka's in the flat. They've got him covered. They try to go to the backside slant. Incomplete. Good coverage there from the number 22, and I think that is the running back, now cornerback, Tyrell Butcher.
And a ball just there on the back shoulder, and again we see what the Stingrays do really well, isolating those receivers and cornerbacks on the outside. That motion left our one receiver in our trips, and ball over to that isolated side. Just a little bit behind. Apart from that would have been a good first down.
Well, this will be a huge plus in the column for them if they can end this drive here. Fourth down for the Gold Coast Stingrays. And you can hear the calls from the Bears sideline now on your screen. Yeah, player in motion, they'll fake it to him. Borden pump fakes, hit as he throws, intercepted! Flag on the play at the 30, but the Bears are heading back the other direction. It's once again Butcher breaking free in the open field. He's got defenders that will take him down inside the 10, but the excitement gets put on hold as we see the assessment of the pair of flags thrown all the way back here at the Logan City 35.
And again, some great blocking after that, regardless of the flags. Logan going down the field, some great blocking down the field to get those extra yards. Let's see what happens here.
Oh, and this, I think, is going against the defense.
Holding, number 62 of the offense, before the interception. That penalty is declined. First down.
Oh, Lord, it is against the offense. It was a holding call, which naturally will be declined by the Bears because it was before the turnover. And the Bears, well, look, the starts of their halves so far have been wonderful. It's whether they can maintain this ability throughout the rest of the game here, but that's a good start for them to come up with the upset.
And we see that on the hold there, just on the O-line there, on the right-hand side. Just hooked around underneath on the outside of the arms and threw the defender to the ground as he came on the outside. Most of the time, the referees will call that every time. But you're right, Kenny. They're great starts to both halves of football, and this is what this is the game plan. And we've said all along that Logan want to do. They want to play the game down in this part of the field.
Can't let this opportunity slide past here. They've got a couple of punts. They had one punt inside opposing half. They've lost the ball. Turnover, Logan City. They had an opportunity and they've olayed it away. And the Gold Coast Stingrays defense has their offenses back.
One of the things the Stingrays defenses are noted for this season are getting those turnovers. Being even more prominent this season with, like we said, lack of preseason, lack of some of these fundamental skills that we've had to tone down a little bit that we would in previous years. We focus more on safety, getting players ready, but ball security throughout the season, I know as a coach, we've struggled to implement and have as much time on, and we saw there. See what Logan can come up with defensively.
And it's Ngolka tripping behind his own player there, so doesn't get a whole lot there. And I will address this at the top of the day, particularly for any families or family members and friends who are watching for the first time. Unlike a lot of other sports, you don't technically need to be tackled to be tackled. The moment any part of your body outside of the palms of your hands and the soles of your feet touch the turf, you are deemed down and the play is deemed dead.
Which is one of the big differences, I think, when you see in the NFL. You have to be touched in the NFL, so let's not get the rules confused.
Borden, running game was successful in the first half, turning well and truly into a runner on that play, lowering the shoulder, bringing some boom.
He certainly runs hard for, like we said, not the tallest quarterback, but certainly solid. Certainly solid and compact. When he turns that corner, he often lowers that shoulder and gets those extra couple of yards, turning a possibly 3rd and 3 into a 3rd and 5 instead. A 3rd and 7 to a 3rd and 5 instead, which is really important.
Passing touchdown and a rushing touchdown to Borden's day so far. First real blemish, the intercept there, just last drive. 3rd and 5 now. Haven't been amazing on 3rd down, the Gold Coast Stingrays. They'll go back to the air. Borden looking at his receiver. Had it, but he's been hit as he's throwing. That's a fumble. No, incomplete pass. Thought we were going to have a bit of a tuck rule moment just then.
Yeah, definitely. A lot of time in NFL, and you'll see the referees allow that play to play out and go to review.
And, well, for those who might be wondering the difference between a fumble and an incomplete there, all you need is that ball throwing arm to be moving forward, even if it's an inch. From there. Paul Mills in the booth there is slowing us down to give us a clear example. Just to be clear, there was no challenge on this play, and it looks like that the right call was made. And that's where we talk about seconds and inches and how they can have an impact on this game, Jared Garrity.
No, 100%. We also see the importance of continuing your blocks as an offensive lineman. Even when you play rolls away, we need to keep engaging that player, because come from the backside there, like we saw, could easily have caused a fumble and a touchdown for the defense.
They're going to need to punt this another 5 yards here. False start coming up on the offense.
Prior to the snap, false start.
Both
offense.
teams seem a little bit
Number
nervous.
32 was
coming
never
into the second
set.
half.
5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
It's a finicky game. Got to be set.
A few mistakes we didn't see in the first half. Might be a bit tired.
Or sometimes
Might be a bit nervous.
The situation starts, you start overthinking a few more things as you see less and less time on the clock. Speaking of which, 5 minutes, 15 seconds. Very grateful for the QGOA organising such a successful clocking system this year. And this punt sails over the head of Jordan Sligo, who's touched the ball. Ball is live, and the Gold Coast Stingrays will benefit from a mishandle on the punt. Sligo couldn't bring it in, and it is recovered there.
Fantastic
Stingrays.
hustle. Fantastic hustle.
It was Rosman Green, the first guy in the play, and the guy who recovers the football. It was a punt that Sligo really misjudged. I don't know if the wind picked up there, or he just really didn't think there was that much of a boot.
No, he was certainly a little bit far forward, but again, we haven't seen fantastic punts today due to the conditions, so probably just wasn't expecting that extra
Tell you what,
distance.
I think this is probably the best conditions any punters are going to have today, just quietly, so you want to take advantage of them. Rosman Green, who had the fumble earlier, makes up for it there with a recovery, and this is Davis Angeles, the lone back so far by my count for the Gold Coast Stingrays today. I don't think outside of board and keepers, we've seen another ball carrier.
And definitely been the only back and done really well in these conditions.
Ace formation, Borden picks up the bobbled snap and able to improvise, and he will get punished for it, and I think we might see
Normally
unnecessary roughness call. I don't know.
Either that or in the vicinity of holding. I didn't quite see what went on there. Normally as an offence you get worried when there's flags near the line of scrimmage.
Exactly. I'm trying to make out, I think that was number 72 who had the tackle, who is the one jersey we don't have in our list. And they did warn us of a jersey change, but they got that person wrong. So, Chris Bradshaw, if you're listening. We wait for the call here, and they are pointing to where the ball carrier was tackled, and I think, or is it a hold? Unless they're upset with the jersey sling here. I don't see anything wrong on the line here. Two other sets of eyes are here with me. And it looks like Andrew Cavalier is about to pass on the
Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face. Number 62 of the offence. That penalty is accepted, 10-yard penalty. Replay, second down.
So, illegal use of hands. That one does tend to slip my mind most of the times there. Can't have your hands up in amongst the face mask.
And certainly a more common penalty in junior football as kids are learning. The difference in junior football, very rarely is it intentional, as we'd say, and malicious. Normally just something that happens.
And I'm just going to say personally, it definitely feels like a newer rule that's been more openly enforced. I'm just going to say I got away with a lot of it.
Well, we've seen a few questions on the rules.
And the low snap, as we'll get back to that ruling in a second. Throw here from Borden in, it's almost intercept, and that's two from Zach Coville, who wisely just walks back to the huddle this time after what happened in the second quarter after a would-be interception.
And back on the rule with the illegal hands to the face. Some of the interpretations are, of course, like anything in refereeing, can be up and down, but we tend to teach if your hands do tend to ride up once they hit those pads and can come into the neck and head area, as long as they're not grabbing, they remove and reset.
Reset, that's the thing.
Is what we tend to look out for.
That's it. So more and more martial arts is being favoured for a lot of the elite level linemen. Very much about moving your hands. Wow, very swift handoff there to Ngolka. Davis Angeles, who didn't have to do a whole lot to get to the 5.
And a massive hole opened up there on that left side there.
Also a late flag, I think, my eyes spy. And I think there was a complaint for a possible face mask.
Looks like as he just came over the top on the outside, just got hold of the helmet perhaps.
Simi Redshaw there has got the flag and a very nonchalant throw. Oh, wait. Yep. So, Gold Coast going to get some half-distance action there. It wasn't indeed a face mask.
And again, we've talked about the, like we said, we talked about the size of the Logan boys, but the Stingray O-line are not small either, and they're starting to open up some big gaps there for the running back as the game moves on.
Matthew Cassidy playing both ways, playing at right guard now it appears, despite him being a defensive tackle and or fullback. Good pocket. Unfortunately, I don't know if that was miscommunication there between quarterback and wide receiver, but thrown in the vicinity of nobody.
And we've noticed too over the past quarters that through the season we've had a lot of 5-6 men rushes, cover zero. Logan, with respect to how powerful the Stingrays' passing attack is, they're only currently rushing 3 most of the plays, with the rest of the guys looking for that pass, which is why the Stingrays are finding a bit of success in that run game.
The scramble game in particular, yeah. 3 down linemen here at the goal line for Logan City. They'll hand it off to the hard-working Ngolka Davis Angeles, who this time does get turned away. Needed to get a little bit lower. Gets stopped after one. A big play there for the Logan City defense.
Yeah, fantastic hustle by those 3 guys there. Getting in front, I couldn't see the numbers, but getting in front, standing them up, and driving back when with the players coming in over the top.
I think it was early in the season, in contrasting positions, the Stingrays had to deny the Bears for about 6 different goal line plays, and they did so in order to secure their first victory against the Bears this season. The Bears need to emulate that effort right now, trailing 22-12 here midway through the third quarter. And play will come to a stop here, and a timeout has been taken by Logan City. Or a flag actually on the far side of the field as well.
First of the half.
Or they might have just dropped out of the pocket. Logan City with their first charge timeout.
And it's a big ask stopping a team like the Stingrays this close to the goal line, but 10 points behind, they might struggle to come back if they allow the Stingrays in here again in this third quarter.
22-12 here at this timeout with 3 minutes and 8 seconds remaining in the third. 8-minute quarters for all the nine-a-side football today. So that's this junior division and the Colts division following, which Justin Fernley, assuming he has not been held up on the Bruce Highway, the legend himself, travelling from Bundaberg, will be joining us for. But it's interesting actually talking to a lot of the women's, and we'll see a lot of the women's players in the first ever 11-a-side women's Sunbowl in our third game today. I was speaking to a couple of them, and they were telling me, I think Amanda Ewers specifically was telling me how much of them are learning how different, not even just 11-a-side as far as football goes, but how many more plays you'll fit in a 12-minute timing opposed to 8-minute. And it really does test your fitness if you have been acclimated to 8-minute football.
It makes a massive difference. Not only that, but the type of plays you're going to be running. There's a lot more options. The line get more involved. You've got guards, centers, pulling. It just opens up your playbook when we move to 11-a-side.
3rd and goal from the 2. No sneak. They'll give it to Davis Angeles. Stuffed at the line again. Flags down at the back of the end zone. But he gets absolutely stood up at the goal line. That might be the biggest hit of today so far. Who was that? Ashton Hay finally getting some revenge.
Absolutely fantastic stop by the middle. Was it the middle linebacker or the safety stepping up? Either or in the junior division, it's normally a hybrid middle linebacker safety.
Going out of the field for the call here from Andrew Calvin.
There is no penalty for illegal participation. The defense had 9 players.
Oh, they thought they might have had too many players on the field there. There is no flag, so that defensive play will stand. 4th down. Last time they were on 4th down, Borden threw a pick that sent them the other direction. This time he is only 2 yards away.
They've brought in a second back for this play for the first time today.
Rosamond Green. It'll be a bobble. I don't know if that was the play, but it will end up as a touchdown. Forgive my speechlessness, but that was just an awkward play that regardless will end up in 6 points. Take a look at this. He still almost gets denied, but again, his heads-up ability has been on display today.
What can you say about that? That's just
You know what that kind of reminds me of? It's the poor man's version of the Andrew Luck touchdown in the playoffs several seasons ago now, where it was a bobble snap, and well, Luck had a bit more work to do. He had to Superman over the line, but Borden again, play blows up.
That's football. We've seen it. We've seen it. You roll of the dice and your number comes up. And fair, not to take away from the skill of the player either. That was fantastic concentration to fumble that ball and then keep your eyes on it.
Another bad snap here. They might have to have a chat with the center, check in with him. That was, for the first time today, the 2-point specialist quarterback and QB number 2 on this team, and Dan Shepard. This time last year, we saw, particularly in the playoffs, I was exposed to the Stingrays having such an expansive roster. And I still, to this day, think this is a beautiful, creative idea of how to get more players involved. Had a 2-point team or a short yardage team led by Dan Shepard and company that was designed specifically, had packages designed specifically for those sort of players. Having a team that knows what their role is and being so drilled into what they have to do, I thought was a fantastic usage of their numbers.
Yeah, definitely. And it's one of those luxuries that all our teams wish we had in the junior, in any division. Have an offense, have a defense, and be able to have a special teams and an extra point team. The Stingrays have done a wonderful job over the years of keeping their numbers up, promoting the sport, and it's showed the last 2 years, particularly in the junior division.
And Tony Calmave Ramirez had a couple of awkward snaps there in a row there, so just might want to get a check in with one of the coaches. Sometimes all it is just the coach telling you to calm down a bit.
Yep.
They'll grab a ball, do a couple of practice snaps on the sideline, and everything's all right again.
Definitely.
Once again, for centers, this is probably the best conditions you might get all today here on the sunny coast. Okay, look, obviously, and I might have to get my man Liam Reeves to check this for me, but there is definitely a clear advantage kicking right to left and left to right on your screen right now. Yeah. There is some kickoffs and punts just sailing right to left for us here at the Sunny Coast Stadium.
I think we saw in the first half with Logan throwing left to right there. Some of those balls floated towards the end zone, so definitely some trying conditions going one way. I think we joked about before the presentation, if you're going right to left, you want to be throwing the ball. If you're going left to right, it's a running game.
Yeah, I was fascinated. I would say that, and maybe you could argue here, but with some of the ways the scores have made, but it almost feels like it's a touchdown's worth wind here, like a 6-point wind.
It seems that way. Both teams seem to have preferred running right to left so far today. We'll see if that continues through the day, though. As we know, the winds around the Sunshine Coast being out near the sea, can tend to change.
And a bit of trickery here, misdirection. It does the job, and here goes Noah Holthy, who's been kept quiet most of today. The Canadian running back rips off a 20-yard gain on that first down carry.
And even though we had a really good game by the running back there, the defense played that pretty well. We still had outside contain. Number 12 did his job, filled that outside contain as you see come around. Just didn't miss it. Just didn't finish that tackle. Defense couldn't have played that much better there.
28-12 the score is following the last Taj Borden touchdown. Eventually making the tackle there, number 32, Rosemary Green, who's had a very colourful day. A lot of highs and lows for him this morning, I should say. First down and 10, Logan City. High snap picked up well by Bryant. Bryant sails this one downfield. I think Sligo might have gave up on him there.
We see the Stingrays are moving to, what I'd probably call a bit more of a junior prevent defence. Their DBs are playing a bit off now, and we've got a few more guys in that secondary. With the score the way it is, Logan, as we've seen again, will probably have to start passing that ball just a little bit more.
And the hard thing about, though, with this type of offense here is that most of your passing yards are going to be made off the back of misdirection and play action. You sort of run to set up the pass, and when the defense knows you have to pass, obviously this is relevant to every team that's trailing from behind, but when you're particularly a run to pass team, it gets a little harder. No play action here. It's a straight pocket drop, and underneath it, making the high-pointed grab there is Heath Gordon. First time he's really got involved in the offense today.
Fantastic.
Once again, these receivers, sorry to quickly got you off there, but these receivers coming back and helping out some of these throws that are falling just a smidge short.
Yeah, and again, we see throwing into the wind. We see throwing in the ball held up. Receiver did a fantastic job to pick that up and high point that ball. Defense was there too. Couldn't, number 13. Lloyd, great cornerback, played great defense on that. Receiver just beat him out.
So
And again, this is the offer. This is what Logan will need to do to get back into this game. It may not be their chosen style of football, but this is how they're going to have to play to get back in.
got to adapt. Once again, going back to this full standing defensive front. Who's rushing? Who's dropping? No one knows. They send a lot. And Butcher now will have to try and run away from him. Changes the compass. Picks up a block. Out in front of him is Sligo. Sligo backs off, and eventually the tackler there is the 12 and Harvey Butler. Threatening there with a couple of jukes left and right, but eventually well defended there from the Gold Coast Stingrays.
I'm not sure Sligo realised that the play had turned back the other way there.
Yeah.
As we said, he's normally a quite ferocious blocker there and was out in the backfield not expecting that to come up the outside.
Yeah, if anything, I thought that was an opportunity for him to just go ham. Just take his man to the sideline. I think you might be right. Maybe he was caught unawares of where the ball carrier's location was, and that will happen when the ball carriers start going all Barry Sanders east and west on you. Second down now, following what was still a productive run. That sets them up here around 2nd and 6. Logan City knocking on the door of the Gold Coast red zone. Another max protect pass here into the middle of some tight coverage. Intended receiver was the 5 in Saal Wabembe, picking up his first target for the day. And on that note, I will address, this is quite a family club here at the Logan City Bears. A couple of cousins, Gabriel Lamon and Wabembe, 5 and 23. They're related. And then you've got the Tai'i brothers and Joel and David, and I think William was there initially at the start of the season. And then you've got the Parsi and Mahina connection. Kolo Aliyah Parsi and Siali Mahina related as well. So plenty of family bloodlines in this Logan City Bears outfit.
Definitely good to see. And I think there's quite a few clubs out there with relatives and family members playing. It's quite an addictive sport once it gets into the old family bloodline, I think.
It can really take up your Saturday though.
Certainly can.
If you've got families in all divisions, you've got members in all the divisions. Gold Coast certainly one of those clubs as well. Bryant with, I think, might have been a designed run. Shakes the first tackle, still going, and eventually pushed out of bounds. Late flag. I think they're going to deem that possibly unnecessary.
Might be looking at a block in the back
Could be a
too
block in the
there.
back. You're exactly right. Holding when any of those runs get stretched out as well. Taking a look at the line. All clear on that camera. Possibly a block in the back there.
Block in the back or holding, I think.
Yeah. I think the hit's fine personally, but I'm not dressed in black and white.
Holding. Number 5 of the offense. 10-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
And Wabembe called for the hold. And as you mentioned, some of these runs that get stretched out to the sideline, sometimes these blockers hold on just that little bit too long.
And it's hard when you're caught in the wrong position for receivers. It's one of the more difficult things to learn is to block in space. One of the key points is to have fast feet. Mm-hmm. You find when the receiver's there, when they're blocking, they stop their feet, they get beaten to the inside or out. That's when you tend to get those holds.
We've got a 3rd and long now here. Following that penalty, they'll push them to double sticks. Tell you what, haven't had a whole lot of double sticks situations.
We haven't.
I'll tell you what, usually juniors, a lot of players still learning. That leads to bad snaps and penalties and whatnot.
The old boom or bust on most of the times. You're either...
But the fact, as we see another flag come
Prior to the snap.
The fact that both
Full
of these teams have kept it.
21 of the offense.
Avoided those
5-yard
situations a fair
penalty.
bit.
Remains 3rd down.
And that will be on the offense again there, another 5 yards. The fact that these two teams have, for the most part, avoided that is a credit to their development and their coaching staff.
And it's been a clean game penalty-wise. I think there's a few little bits and pieces there, but not as many as you'd normally expect. So they're both very well drilled teams. They've both been working really hard to correct those through the season.
And nothing egregious.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Just a hard-fought competition.
Well, 1 quarter now is all that is left in season 2020 for these two teams here in the junior division. The score is 28-12. That is 16 points the Logan City Bears will need to overcome here in 8 minutes of organised football here in the Junior Sunbowl 2020. That is a tall order against the Gold Coast Stingrays side that has led from the front throughout the entirety of this season.
Yeah, it certainly is. It certainly is. And again, Stingrays are a class act on offense and defense. They don't really have a weakness there. It's one of the things you've just got to face when you play this junior team. You need to be playing your best football for 4 quarters. Otherwise, you get to that fourth and you find you're down 1 score, 2 scores, and sometimes it's insurmountable.
Going back to Taj Borden's one real blemish of this game was the pick he threw on 4th down earlier in the 3rd quarter. He's only thrown 2 picks this season. Has a great touchdown to intercept ratio as the two teams flip sides. 16 touchdowns to 2 intercepts in the regular season. Added another passing touchdown to make it a clean 17 today. 2 more on the ground. Only had 2 during the season. Has matched that output here today.
Again, I think that comes down to football intelligence, how much he's invested his mind into the football game. Reading defences and understanding what he physically can and can't do.
Bryant, under pressure immediately, evades it, tries to take down the other, and the man who was initially in on the action, I think that might have been the 58 in Lockie Johnson. He chases him down from behind, and we've got a Stingray down, and he's back to his feet. That's Deacon Grew, Connor's younger brother. Deacon definitely forging his own path in this football sport now.
Great pursuit by the defensive line there.
Good news. Is that a bit of sun I spy?
It certainly looks like it.
Don't adjust your brightness on the screen. The sun has actually come out here on the Sunshine Coast. Oh, look at that. Now, dare I say it, is this the calm before the storm? Might have just put my foot in it. 12:28, 4th quarter action. The clock do be ticking down.
We have had a fair bit of rain here over the last 24 hours, I think. And sometimes when the sun comes out, the moisture then comes to the surface, which could cause a bit of a problem later on.
Indeed. A quick pass out here to Sligo. Sligo doesn't want the sideline, goes back and runs back into the teeth of the D. And that play, that's blown up. That's some good defense out there by the Gold Coast Stingrays on what was a 4th down attempt. Changeover here. And with that, one more drive going, begging us one less drive they have here in season 2020.
Maybe, I know it was 4th down, but maybe just trying to do a little bit too much on that play coming back inside. Being 4th down, of course, not much of a choice. Just trying to make what you can when you're caught behind the line with all those blue jerseys in front of you.
1st down and 10, and the Stingrays here, comfortable lead. They might just start. Oh, speaking of which, timeout here to the Gold Coast Stingrays. I believe that is their first charge timeout here in the 2nd half.
Timeout. Offense. 1st of the half.
And they'll be looking to take some time here on this drive, probably more so important than points itself. If they can obviously cap it off with a touchdown, wonderful, but I think a successful drive will be one here that clears at least 2 minutes off this clock.
A successful drive and holding on to the football. We saw in the start of this 2nd half, we've had a lot of loose football on that ground, a lot of turnovers. Hold on the ball, drive it down the field as far as you can, and get that clock moving and get out of here with the win. Tell you what, I have been impressed though with both the defences. I think they've both come in, the defensive coaches on both sides have done a fantastic job. Logan has really stifled that long Stingrays passing game. Stingrays have found a way to make it work with their short passing game. which is fantastic as well. And the Stingrays have come on board and manned up against this big, powerful Logan running attack. So it's a credit to both those defensive coordinators.
Here we go, bit of a trips bunch set here to the right side of the line here for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Borden wants the ball. Hard count. We'll give this off to Rosman Green. Rosman Green's got plenty of space. The tacklers have gone MIA for the Logan City Bears. Eventually it's Sligo taking him down with a form tackle at the 30. Also Wisely stays in bounds.
Might be a hold in the backfield though. There is a flag down there just on that. Might have just caught one on that defensive edge.
Holding, number 98 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
Cassidy, who's
Yeah, I think it was a guard just caught the D edge as he tried to get round that side and probably just held on to a fraction too long.
that is Matthew Cassidy pinned for the hold. Now a 16-year-old standing at around 120 kilos at 16. Big future ahead. His father, a rugby league coach, who knows all about keeping him athletic, is a big gym kid. Pushing out some impressive numbers right now, and it sounds like he's got some fantastic support coming out from home. Look forward to seeing this kid's future. Borden, they'll continue to throw. Or is it intercepted? It is! Butcher's just been full of big plays today. The Logan City Bears have given themselves another sniff at this. 2 scores down, a couple ticks over 6 minutes remaining here in their season.
And just again, great defense. We've pointed out that this was their real focus, to stifle that Stingrays attack and make them beat them in the short passing game and on the ground. And again, we see the fruits of that labour.
Just undercut there. They wanted to go the curl route, and I think they're just... Yeah, it's a clean catch there from Butcher. And geez, Butcher, you think about the game he's had so far. The big kick return touchdown set the Bears up for that opening score. And a couple of big runs, couple of big defensive players. Now adds an intercept to that.
Has had an absolute cracker today.
And Borden, well, I talked about him matching his season output in rushing yards in one game, has done the same with his intercepts. And we've had to change a quarterback. Ashton Hay, who's been starring at Mike linebacker. Here's Holthy breaking out of a tackle before being quickly shut down soon after. But yes, change in signal caller there. Not sure what has happened to Sebastian Bryant, but it is Ashton Hay who started for the Logan City, or sorry, I should say maybe the Bengals teams of seasons past. At quarterback is now taking reign of this offense. Trying to spot the 91 on the sideline.
Can't see him on the sideline.
So I'm assuming he might have gone to one of the injury tents, or he is MIA. So this is Ashton Hay's offense here in the fourth quarter. Max protect. Hay loads up and throws deep. He's got a battling Sligo underneath of them. The pass sails. And
I think a fair bit of hand fighting from both sides. Good restraint on the referee not to call that as a pass interference. I think it was a pretty fair call then.
Liam Reeves is our man in the moment. He's going to go suss out that situation for us.
I think the referees called a fair game too. They've allowed the receivers and cornerbacks to play. They haven't been overly finicky, which we do occasionally see. But it has been good, clean football, and I think it's been some pretty good calls, letting them fight, letting them play.
So too. And I'm a big fan of referees who can really apply some common sense to some of these pass interference calls.
Yeah, definitely. You don't want to referees.
Big pressure here, and it's a bad snap. Hayes gonna have to clean up, and they shut down that and get a huge negative play there. The Gold Coast Stingrays in on the play initially. Connor Dent.
I think we talked about earlier some bad snaps by the Stingrays, and we see the same undoing for Logan here.
These third downs, they are just standing up everyone in a gap And I think it must be causing some sort of tension to the passing assignments here, because every time they've done that in the second half here, we've seen some of those snaps go wayward.
Definitely, definitely. Especially for new players. I mean, it can be quite intimidating when there's 5, 6 guys standing in the box.
And Lord knows what they're saying.
Yeah, exactly. But again, it's we always say it's just got to be it's mechanical. It's the same thing. It's you get up your line, you're the same regardless of what's in front of you.
It's Sunbowl Jago at centre. He is a first-year centre. Hay with time. Pass rush takes a breather on that play. Sligo would have been in between 3 Columbia Blue defenders there. So
I don't think he picked that up. I don't think he picked that up in the air. It's with a little bit of glare out there. He might have just lost that ball.
I think everyone lost that ball. To be honest, I think
it was certainly up there.
Would have made a play, but yeah, to go back on the centre there, and that was on 4th down. I should mention, did not build that tension appropriately. I apologise for those watching from home. That was a turnover. That was a big 4th down play that results in a turnover on downs, and once again, that leaves us with 4 minutes here and an unchanged 16-point lead.
It's been a fairly tight second half.
And what have we got?
Timeout. Defense.
Looks like Logan
Their
City
second of the
gonna
half.
take their second timeout of the half. And time is running out here. Defense got the big play. They gave them an opportunity there. Had they scored, and let's say presumably took another couple of plays out, that would have left them with over 3 minutes, and that's enough for a defensive stand. But just getting a call now that the reason Sebastian Bryant, good work there from our sideline correspondent Liam Reeves, he received a concussion in one of those earlier drives, and that's what has kept him on the sidelines there. So credit to the coaching staff for taking the head knock seriously.
And that's one of the great things that has progressed over the last few years in junior football for us and all of football is the concussion protocols. Everyone, it's a serious issue, and it's now being brought to the forefront. Especially with our great medical support staff we have here available to GQ.
Twins right, and they'll trust. No, it's Boredom with the keeper. Psyched me out. Spins, no, loses one, and then the late flag comes in and actually...
I nearly caught that flag.
Timmy Redshaw with the accuracy. Someone signed him up at quarterback. I was worried we might have had a Zeus moment there.
Might pin just for a bit of a face mask here at the end.
Yeah, or maybe even a horse collar.
Horse collar, perhaps.
Personal foul. Face mask. Number 90 of the defense. 15 yards from the end of the run. Automatic first down.
A number 90 on defense, who's not on my team list. Fortunately for you, you will get called out.
And again, just an unintentional, as you swung around, just accidentally grabbed the wrong part of the opposing player, as sometimes happens.
Yeah, some of those are forgivable. You know,
They are.
Unfortunate. What happens? You can see he's just trying to make the play there. I think it was, or is it? Yeah, I can only assume it was the first initial contact there.
First initial contact. I think you're right there, Kenny.
First down. The Stingrays now could absolutely find themselves a dagger right now within Gorka with a lost ball. Another opportunity created by this Logan City defense. This offense needs to stand up here. This defense, they are taking this ball away. .339 remaining. It is not undoable.
It's certainly not. And the Logan defense has certainly come into the game and achieved what they'd hoped to achieve, I think. Maybe not happy with the 28 points they've been put on, but they certainly need this offense to get moving again.
Well, this is the highest offensive output for the Gold Coast Stingrays against the Bears here in 2020. Their previous season high was 20 points against the Bears. A 20-0 victory was their biggest deficit, or their biggest margin, I should say. But as I mentioned earlier as well, this is the most amount of points put on this Gold Coast defense, and the most points certainly that the Bears, by virtue of that stat, have put up against this Gold Coast defense. Ball's on their own 23. Ashton Hay is the tough ass for coming in at quarterback. Slinging it to Sligo with almost a one-handed miraculous grab. Got past Green and would have been off to the races. Instead, he has a hand full of hope, and that's about it.
Another half step, but again, this is a game of inches, isn't it?
That's right. We saw a couple of plays go missing for both teams in the first half, and particularly for some of these Gold Coast receivers, and now it looks like the Bears are squaring the ledger.
Stingrays may go back to their prevent style defence there with those extra defensive backs in. The Bears O-line with their max protect with the running backs there seem to be giving the quarterback plenty of time.
I'll tell you what, their max protect passing game has been effective.
It definitely has, Plenty of time, and the quarterbacks are showing great awareness, like we said in the first half, to sense that pocket there and to have the ability and knowledge to step up to deliver those footballs.
I want to credit the tight ends and the blocking here from this O-line on those max protect. I've seen Colts football for a while. These are some of the cleanest pockets I've seen for quarterbacks to step up and throw in. And it's unfortunate. Oh, no! I was about to call a pick for the Gold Coast Stingrays there. Again, coming back for the football is Heath Gordon.
Might have a bit of a cramp there, though, after that play. Let's hope that's all it is. Let's hope he can stretch that out.
Here's the thing that a lot of players are going to learn, particularly when our postseason stretches out to December in this case. Usually it's November, which is still quite hot. The hydration doesn't start once the whistle starts. It doesn't even start on the day of the Sun Bowl. If you're not properly hydrating the night before or even the day before, you're going to run into some cramp issues.
100%. Even we see an overcast day, and players, especially junior players, and their coaches need to emphasise this through all levels, that regardless if it's overcast or wet, cramps in this conditions in this time of the year is so common. We actually had a scary moment through our season where one of our players was that dehydrated he actually had a core cramp. Ooh. And if you've ever seen one of those go, we had to bring an ambulance in to relieve the cramp. So that's on the extreme side of things, but hydration in Australian time, playing American football in full gear is no joke.
Especially some of these dark jerseys. Logan City dressed in all black. 28-12, 3 minutes remaining. Ashton Hay can't evade the pressure. Taken down to the turf there, Dan Bolton, who continues to stack up the stats here today on Sun Bowl Saturday.
Again, great play by the rookie. There was still a nice pocket there, Kenny. The quarterback, again, backup quarterback, may not have had the know-how or whereabouts to step up in the pocket, but defender played that really well.
Look at it. The tickets? Yes, the time ticking down here in the fourth quarter.
Nearly the 2 minute warning.
2 minute warning imminent.
Still only two converted touchdowns down. There's still hope.
Pass, Sligo, slant, dropped.
Beautiful route there. Just could not hold on to that ball. Beautiful slant route there. Good pass.
As we see a couple of these opportunities now, just Sligo, he's gotten deep. He's gotten open over the middle. He just needs to bring in some of these catches. Some of these passes have been brilliant from Hay, who's, again, been called in on short notice. He just needs to land one of these, and then we're talking about a grandstand finish. One would think the 2 minute warning's on the other side of this play.
Again, they've got that deep safety in there.
Third and forever.
They've gone to their prevent.
I'm surprised they also haven't stuck to that psycho front that Connor Brewster, so named in honour of Bill Belichick. Pass over the middle, tipped, caught, it's Jackson! Jackson Lloyd with possibly the game-sealing turnover here. Flags are down though on the near side sideline of 30-yard line.
Quarterback felt that pressure, delivered the ball into double coverage, and that's what happens. Tip ball, desperate times.
Offsides. 66 of the defense. 5-yard penalty.
Offside.
Replay
That's
third
going to
down.
save them.
That is also
Here,
the 2-minute warning.
Logan, and that will shave off 5 yards on this almost impossible third down that they've got ahead of themselves. It looks like it's 3rd and 17 by the official count.
I think we have a slight issue with the game clock as well if you're down at the field. Reading 2:58. I believe it's 1:58 left on the clock. We'll get that confirmed.
So, how about that? A stream clock's the one that's correct. How times change. Short pass out here to Butcher. They need a big play from him. He's delivered all day. Can he do it one more time? He's got a blocker around the edge. And now he's got a blocker in front of him. Flags it down. Far sideline. But Butcher's going to go. Cuts it back. And we'll take it. No, he's still going. My call is erratic. But so is that run, which eventually finds its home at the 25-yard line. Back, though, at the Logan 34, we see a yellow hanky.
We'll see what happens with this flag in the backfield, but that was a brilliant run.
Jeez, Butcher.
It's tough to see a great run like that and have it brought all the way back.
Well, it happens more often than you think. That once you start going left and right, blocks start going crazy.
And that's where things break down in football. And
there are 2 fouls
players
played,
Hold the phone.
both by the offense. Illegal block in the back. Number 34, that penalty is accepted. Also illegal block in the back. Number 41, that penalty is declined. We will return to the previous spot, 10-yard penalty, replay 3rd down.
And there's a block in the back by big number 41 there, unfortunately, which will wipe this play. I'm looking at him just middle of the field there. It must have been early in the play there if it wasn't 41. I literally just saw him jogging to the play.
Yeah,
That's
I didn't quite pick up where that was in the initial replay there.
There was 2 fouls in the play. They will march him back now from the spot foul. I can only assume it was early in the play, maybe on the first reverse.
It had to have been, Kenny. Again, spot foul. It would have been, should have been back from there. So, but again, it's heartbreaking for a coach, for a player, to have something like that called back, especially with 1:40 left to go in the biggest game of possibly their young lives.
The longest down and distance we've had so far today. Let's see if that record gets broken throughout the next 3 games. 3rd and 27. Max protect. 7-step drop. Hay hit as he's thrown. The ball will.
And again, number 40 with the pressure. He's been working all day on that quarterback and been getting some results in this second half.
Fourth down now.
One of the key things in those 4th and 3rd and long situations is, and players also getting the fact that they try to get the whole lot in one hit. You look at that as a 2-down situation, pick up 10. Now you're, instead of 4th and 20, you're now 4th and 13. So it's a little bit more manageable. You get into trouble in those situations where you're tempted to throw that big bomb out.
Time out. Offense.
Where there might be a little chance of some yards underneath, make that 4th down conversion more manageable. Because in this situation, you're going to go for it anyway.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. That's the difference between. It sounds almost academic when you say trying to compare 4th and 15 and 4th and 25, but it is a difference between catching a ball with 7 yards to go and realistically being able to pick up those yards, and catching the ball, still making a hell of a lot of yards and still coming up short.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
So I might just use this opportunity, probably better late than never, just to educate those who might be watching American football for the first time. Downs, as you might hear us referencing throughout the game, effectively are like tackles for those who are rugby league fans. You get 4 downs or 4 opportunities to advance the ball the 10 yards or score if you're in a goal line situation. Should you advance those 10 yards, you get a fresh set of downs. If not, you either turn the ball over, and that's why most people will kick the ball on 4th down, which is like the fifth tackle option in rugby league.
And that's really a field position game, like we mentioned at the start. Trying to get the opposing team pinned down, gradually wear them down till you get closer and closer. We often refer to American football as a game of chess.
A very violent game of chess. 4th down now. 4th and 27, still the magic number.
Scoreboard's back on track at 1:34 to go.
There you go. 94 seconds remaining here for the junior division. Once again, that intimidating front for the Stingrays sends about 4. They give us to Butcher. Butcher's got to be absolutely wrecked by now, but not enough for him to stop trying to produce for this offense, and they might have picked up an extra 15 on the back end of that run.
And again, Kenny, the difference between the 3rd down play picking up 7 yards would have been the difference between a 1st down and a turnover here.
The penalty certainly helps.
Certainly does.
Once again, Sligo's blocking also on display once more.
The blocking out in the open has been fantastic.
Down to midfield. Alright, I thought we had an official timeout. Perhaps not. We get another look at that. We'll hush once the time comes from it, but this will be a huge play. The run itself was big. Tack on a potential another 15. Still waiting for that official call. Not sure what we're checking on here. I think they're trying to figure out if this is... I don't know if a challenge flag's been thrown out, if that's what we're concerned about.
Can't see one out on the field yet, but I thought he might have been running to wave that flag off, but no, he's placed it back down on the 30.
And well, here's just worth it for any foul that results in 15 yards or more is reviewable. So any sort of unsportsmanlike conduct or unnecessary roughness, and this is the hit we're assessing here. The hit there from Jackson Lloyd.
Doesn't look like there's too much in that hit, so
you can actually see him pulling out as well, which is...
It's hard when you're at full tilt.
Looks like we're about to get a call.
The result of the play was that the runner was short of the line to gain. There was insufficient evidence to support a late hit out of bounds. There is no penalty for late hit out of bounds. Turnover by downs, 1st down Stingrays.
Well, there it is. And this is where you talked about that extra distance being a factor. The runner was short of line to gain. They would have needed the penalty to come good there. Common sense prevailing there at the end. Flag picked up. No foul for the Gold Coast Stingrays. And here the Stingrays are to try and ice this game. And Dan Shepherd will be sent in to handle the Brendan Nealon.
One of the beauties of the Sunbowl and the technology we have here today is to get these calls right, which I think it was a good call to review. In a normal season game, we may not have got that right. But here, we had the time, technology. It's wonderful, wonderful.
And look, there is always going to be people, to this day in the NFL and the NRL, there are people claiming that technology is being involved too much. But we're getting better at it. Obviously, there was teething issues. I've been here for all the broadcasts of both the playoffs and the Sun Bowl. As this play is a bobbled snap when they're trying to take a knee, that was awkward. And that might be I think they're signaling 3rd down as time is ticking away here, and
They should just about do it.
should just about do it. But we are getting better at it, and ultimately, situations like that where it's used appropriately, I think it'd only be a positive for this sport right now, particularly in the big games. And with that final play, the time left is all but a formality. The Gold Coast Stingrays looks like they're about to wrap up a perfect season in what has been a very imperfect 2020. There it is, the Gold Coast Stingrays Juniors, your back-to-back champions here at the Sunshine Coast. That trophy will be heading back down the M1. A beautiful game here from the division leaders. A very, very valiant fight here from the Logan City Bears. Scored first, made it a tight first half, tight second half in fact. Only really one second half touchdown being scored from the Gold Coast Stingrays, and they have no reasons not to hold their head high in a very, very strong effort. That defense in particular did outstanding today. I know 20 points, 28 points on the board, but you factor in all those turnovers.
That's exactly right. You had to be happy with the defensive performance. They stopped that potent Stingrays passing defense, resorted to running the Stingrays running the ball, and running your read option and those short passes.
Hey,
maybe not so happy with their offense, Logan, but that's football. That's football. The Stingrays did a good job. There's two people in the race, and the Stingrays did a good job to counter the Logan's offense. So well done,
hey,
and well deserved.
Listen, you know, you come in and you think other wins in this, if their goal defensively was to come in and force Gold Coast to do anything but throw those deep passes, they certainly succeeded in that. To Gold Coast credit, adapted.